Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited 16 countries in 2024. It's not a small number. He visited 16 countries in 2024, but the Indian missions, barring those in Abu Dhabi and Moscow, are yet to provide details of the expenditure incurred in organizing these high-profile visits. And this was sought under Right to Information Act, and this application was filed by the transparency activist Commodore Lokesh Batra. Now, the embassy in Abu Dhabi has provided details, and they have not given a complete breakup. And here is the copy on the screen. And they've just given a little detail in as an answer to the first question, which was asked that the expenditure incurred by this public authority. And they've given a total expenditure of 4 crores 95 lakhs 49,408. In the second question, they have asked for the breakup, which they have said that they have not given the breakup. And they said that it is related to the expenses of the Council of Ministers. Then the third question which is asked is that was this event sponsored or it was organized by some other organization? So they have given the detail of that event, which was called Alan Modi. And then they have said that this community interaction event was organized by the Indian diaspora in UAE. So this was a reply given by the embassy of India, that is Abu Dhabi. Now take a look at the expenditure details which have come out as far as Moscow and Kazan are concerned. Now here is the complete breakup. If you look at the breakup of the Moscow mission in Moscow has said that hotel arrangements were worth 1 crore 81 lakh 69,388. Daily allowance 20 lakh 81,303. And look at this, which is phenomenal. Community reception. Now you've seen the kind of frenzy which is created behind Prime Minister Modi's trip, where you have the entire jamboree of the Bhakts, then with all the orchestra, the cacophony which you see, and the whole lot of rejoicing and joy and fervor which you see, it's all stage managed. And this is for what the expenditure you see, the community reception, the way he's been given the reception, that has a huge cost. 1 crore 87 lakh 97,259. Transport arrangements 59 lakh 6,031. Transport arrangements, the local crowd, the management of the local crowds, the people who are flown down from India to arrange all this. And then other miscellaneous expenditure, nobody knows what that miscellaneous expenditure is, but 62 lakh rupees, 56,129, which brings a total expenditure of 5 crores 12 lakh 10,110 rupees. Now look at the next one. Now the Kazan expenditure, the Kazan mission, hotel arrangements again, 1 crore 62,070 or 79,655. Daily allowance 25 lakh 67,158. Transport arrangements 1 crore 679 lakh 85,100. Other miscellaneous expenditure 6 crores 56 lakh 27,258. Now, there's no breakup of the miscellaneous expenditure. It's just given in totality. Now, who knows what all has been spent in this 6 crores? And do you think that 6 crores is a small amount? Not at all. And the total expenditure is 10 crores 24 lakhs 59,171, whereas the total expenditure in Moscow is about 5 crores 12 lakhs 10,110. Now, what does this really show? This is taxpayers' money which is being used. It's a wasteful expenditure. Why does a prime minister need so much of money just to stage manage, just to call him a Vishwaguru, just to show the world that, look, this is how people love me as a prime minister? Is that the objective? Now, these are the questions which are arising in everyone's mind. Go to the social media, look at the way how people are responding on Twitter, which is now called X. And people say the prime minister has called himself a fakir, who it seems is not bothered too much about the worldly pleasures, about the materialistic pleasures. So if a person like this, who claims to be of a simple mindset, why do you need this kind of a wasteful expenditure of the taxpayers' money? And please don't forget, India is a nation where 80 crore people are being fed free rations. And this is what Prime Minister Narendra Modi has formalized it almost. So we'll try and discuss all of this. Joining me now is renowned transparency activist Anjali Bharadwaj with us this evening. Thank you so much, Anjali, for joining. And it's always a pleasure having you on the program. And this RTI, which has been filed by Commodore Lokesh Batra, how revealing is it? And what is it that really strikes you as a transparency activist when you see these three applications which we put out?
Thanks, Neelu. I think the first thing that strikes me as a transparency activist is what you said, that what has been denied is more than what has been provided. Commodore Lokesh Batra asked for information from all the embassies of India where Prime Minister Narendra Modi traveled, and out of the 16 countries that he visited, like you have shown, only 2 or 3 embassies have given the details and given the information on how much money was spent on his visits. I think this is extremely unfortunate. This basically is showing the mindset that this is people's money, but people cannot have access to how their money was spent. I am not saying that taxpayers' money should not be spent on the Prime Minister's visits. Of course, it has to be. These are all official visits. But should people whose money is being spent not have a right to know how much money is being spent and on what? So we know that in our country, even the poorest person on the street is paying taxes. Today, we know about GST, we know about indirect taxes. This is all people's hard-earned money. We have a right to know under our constitution. It's a democratic constitutional right. The Supreme Court has held that it's a fundamental right that people have information on how governments are working and how government officials are functioning. And here we are talking not of any ordinary person. We are talking about money that is being spent on the Prime Minister of India, his foreign travels. Now, Neelu, I want to start also by saying that this is not about Mr. Narendra Modi. This is not about the current Prime Minister. This is not about any party. This is about the whole issue is regarding accountability to the people of India. The whole slogan of the Right to Information movement has been Hamara Paisa, Hamara Hisab. It's our money and we have to be given account of how our money is spent. This was also applicable before Mr. Narendra Modi took over as the Prime Minister of India. I will, for the benefit of your viewers, just read out the OM, the official memorandum, the office memorandum that basically laid out the guidelines for foreign tours of Prime Minister, ministers and officials. And here it's very, very clear that the section 1.8 says that a large number of RTI queries are being filed on official tours undertaken by ministers or officials of various government ministries and departments. And mind you, this is 2013. We are not talking about a current situation. This is when the UPA government was in power. People were asking this information. It was acknowledged. And what was finally said? Information to be disclosed proactively without anyone having to seek that information. Information to be disclosed proactively may contain nature of the official tour, places visited, the period for which the place was visited, number of people included in the official delegation, and the total cost of such travel undertaken. This is a DOPT-OM, Department of Personnel and Training, which comes under the Prime Minister's office. In 2013, put out this direction, these guidelines, which are applicable till date, Neelu. What does this mean? This basically means that people were asking for this information even from Prime Minister Manmohan Singh. This is not anything to do with any one person or any one party. This is information that people have a right to know in a democracy. It was taken on board. And in 2013, this OM was given. Now, if you look at the Prime Minister office's website. It is so unfortunate that after 2019, there seems to be no information on how much money was spent on the Prime Minister tours. I was looking at the website, and again, just give me 1 minute to tell you what I found. It says that from 13th of November to the 15th of November 2019, Prime Minister went to Brazil, and the expenses incurred on chartered flights was 20 crore 1 lakh rupees. Now, similarly, expenses on chartered flights are given for that period. He went to Thailand, 6 crore 68 lakh rupees only on chartered flights. The total cost is not provided even for 2019. It's only for chartered flights. And after 2020, no expenditure is proactively provided. What is there to hide? And then, Neelu, what you started by saying, that there are questions that arise when the media shows these great grand pictures of welcome of the Prime Minister in different airports when he reaches a country, how so many thousands of people seem to collect, to dance, and to rejoice his reaching. It's a great thing, but people have a right also to know how much of their money is being spent on some of these things. How much money is being spent when all our officials travel, when our secretaries, when our ministers, when our Prime Minister, they travel to different countries. How much money is being spent and on what? Because you see, in a democracy, it is very important for participation, for people's participation, for questioning to happen, to have information, objective information. I think Commodore Batra has been consistently, even before this government came to power and even now, has been asking for this kind of information. And not just him. Let me also say that 60 lakh means 6 million RTI applications are filed every year in our country, where people like Commodore Batra are asking for information. And it is unfortunate, it is completely illegal, the denial of this information even today. So if embassies today are trying to hide behind a veil of secrecy how much of taxpayers' money is being spent, it is wholly and completely illegal. It is incorrect. And I think the government has an obligation, like I just read out, to actually give this information themselves. This is not about any one prime minister or minister. This is about democracy. And we always say that things that are done with taxpayers' money, things that are done by public officials. The Prime Minister of the country is an elected official. We've all voted in various elections. We've all given our taxpayers' money. We have a right to know, and people have a right then to debate. Some might say that this amount of money is not correct to be spent on a prime minister's visit when there are so many priorities where money should be spent, taxpayers' money should be spent. Some might even say that no, it's okay. But the point is that we need to have information, even to have a proper debate in a democracy. And that is what is being denied when Commodore Batra is being denied information.
Stay ahead with our cutting edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.